Megan Alter. I grew up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and then moved to New York City, where I got my undergraduate and my graduate degree at NYU. Moved here for my PhD in 1995 and stayed. So once I got my PhD, I stayed on and taught as a visiting professor in the English department and also the sexuality studies department. And then after 5 years, moved over into educational assessment and found myself here, and I've been here ever since. I started as a writing specialist and am now a director of academic content in English language arts.
So first question, Megan, what are your top priorities if you get elected again?
If I get reelected again, I have 3 priorities. The first of which is rejuvenating the Iowa City Marketplace, or probably most of us know it as the Sycamore Mall. It's a great space for a lot of different opportunities, whether it's retail, some commercial, some residential. It's ripe for walking and some green space. We've got neighborhoods surrounding it, and just right now it's a big blight, and we really need to rejuvenate it. I campaigned on it 4 years ago. My tagline was, "There is nowhere on the east side to buy socks," and that's true still, so that's a big priority for me. Also, affordable housing, and that actually is part of what I see as a possibility for the Iowa City Marketplace. But affordable housing across the spectrum, from those who need the most support in terms of actually wraparound care, lowest income. People usually need also extra services, additional services, so supportive permanent housing, all the way up to workforce and single-family homes. We need more of those, family-sized. Even market price. We don't have enough housing, but we really need to focus right here and right now with the way the ARPA dollars are all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but they are coming to a close, the way that there's tumult in the market, and the way that our federal and state budgets are not friendly towards municipalities right now. We need to do for ourselves and really help people with the crisis that they're going in through affordable housing. And then the third thing for me, which is unique, is childcare. We, in the same way that there is a crisis for housing, there's a crisis for childcare. And I could talk your ear off on it, but the bottom line is this, is that it is a community issue. It is not simply a family issue. It has to do with economic development. It has to do with education. It has to do with a healthy community and for well-being of kids and families and a community. So I want to look for some more local solutions to helping parents and kiddos be able to get the child care that they so need and deserve in ways that are right for them.
I think you kind of answered my second question here, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What are some things you think Iowa City residents are facing, and how will you work to make those better?
Right now, one of the things that is top of mind for everyone is the fact that SNAP has gone away. It's not something that any of us campaigned on, but it is an urgent crisis. And so the community needs to come together to help the local food pantries, to help their neighbors, so that people do not go hungry. And this is an all-hands-on-deck effort. That is an immediate thing that is starting literally today, before the election even. We all need to do this whether I'm elected or not. In terms of thinking of it as longer-term issues, and that this will be something that continues on. It now is a priority, must be a priority for local municipalities, the SNAP concerns and food instability. But additionally, concerns for residents and for the council alike is how do we fund everything, and how do we make sure that the services that people need can continue, especially when the need grows greater.
And I guess, how will you make those? How will you work to make those things better?
We have to work together with our nonprofit partners. We have to work with individual residents, with communities, to come together. The city has to use a megaphone. The city has to use its dollars. It has to support the entities that already on the ground doing the work. They are the experts. They're the ones who are going to know what's needed, and we need to take our leads from them, but then we need to pitch in with our dollars, our megaphone to publicize to people that, hey, there's a food drive. Hey, there's need here. What can you do? Here's what the city is doing. The local municipalities meet about once a quarter, and I think that this is something that needs to come up as a joint entities meeting as well, is how can we as a region try to work together, because obviously that's a multiplier factor.
Yeah. And I guess you've kind of been answering this too, but I'll have to ask it anyway. What are your thoughts on how to improve the cost of living for Iowa City residents?
I'm very in favor of us looking at universal basic income. However, that's been outlawed by the state. But are there ways that we can start to look to help residents directly? Again, people know what their needs are best. And so this is something that I'm continuing to investigate in a much more immediate rather than hypothetical way. We need to make sure that our nonprofit agencies have the funding that they need. We need to continue to publicize the need. The city needs to put its dollars where its mouth is as well. It's a dual-edged need. We have to publicize, but we also have to support. We do already, but we need to find out what kind of reserves we may have, where best they can be put, so that we can help our residents.
Okay. And then, if elected again, what are the changes you want to implement? And then, what are some things you think City Council should continue doing from your previous term?
I'm going to start with the last part first. In terms of continuing what we've done, we've had a huge success with our fare-free buses, and that's something that we are all committed to continuing. It would be lovely and wonderful if we could expand either our routes or the hours of operation. We've had residents talk about how they would like to see some Sunday service, and that's something I think that is in a phase of investigation. And it may not be that it is specifically through city buses, but it might be that we have other ways to get people where they need to go on the hours and the days that we don't have bus service. And so I remain committed to that. In terms of what would I like to change, I think I want to continue working on transparency within council about what we can and cannot do, while making sure that our top priority always is material, experienced changes for the better. How do we make daily life better for Iowa City residents? There's so much tumult and churn and danger in our current environment that a lot of times residents rightly are looking to the government, local government at least, to help either symbolically or materially. I want to be a counselor who pushes for material changes so that people can actually feel an impact rather than maybe us just signing a piece of paper.
And then this is my last question. Assuming you win, what would you say won you the seat again?
If I win again, I like to think that it would be that I have been very honest with voters about what I want for the city, and that I have been reflecting what voters want as well. Again, I've campaigned on making daily life better for the community, and that the outcomes that I'm reaching towards or that I've advocated or championed are things that make a difference to people's lives on a daily basis.